The Matrix is strong. The system which is designed to keep you as a slave is strong. How could it exist any other way? Because there's very few of them and there's a lot of you. The system is extremely strong and it's designed to keep most of the people at the bottom slaving away, praying to have money they're never going to have so those at the top can stay filthy, filthy rich. To attack a system like this, you need to wait for an opportunity. There has to be a chink in the armor. Something has to happen, which the Matrix has not prepared itself for. So there's an opportunity for the masses, for people at the bottom, for the shit munchers to break through and become ultra high net worth individuals, as I have. If you cannot feel in the air, if you have half a brain, you should feel it in the air. You should feel it when you wake up. You should feel it when you look around you, that the world is not the same as it was. Corona, yeah, that's just the beginning of this crap, right? The world is not the same as it was. Things have happened this year and last year which will never, ever happen again. And the financial system, the judicial system, the immigration systems, all the systems of Earth which function in a particular way have broken down because society no longer functions in a way it was supposed to function. The Matrix is weak now. You have an opportunity now to make more money than you've ever had in your entire life. You understand inflation is coming. You understand fiat currency is no longer valuable. You've been told to just buy crypto because this is your limited understanding of the fiscal landscape. And that's not a bad move. But there is so much more you could do. You need to start preparing for the impending fiscal doom which will bestow most of the average people of Earth. Most Joe Schmoes of Earth are waiting. They don't know what they're waiting for, but I'll say what they're waiting for. They're waiting to be crushed. That's what's going to happen. A 2% pay rise at your job's not going to do it. Buying a little bit of Bitcoin ain't going to do it. You need a plan to benefit from this inflation so you can ride the tidal wave as opposed to being run over by it.
And then you add into the fact that the government is getting more and more tyrannical. You add into the fact that violence is the bottom line. You add into the fact they will take your fucking house off you. What did they do in Canada to the truckers? And the Canadian truckers got tired of COVID. Yeah. They went and they protested and they lost their houses and lost their cars and lost their pets. They euthanized their dogs. You know that? They euthanized their dogs and stole their money from their bank accounts. So a man who worked his entire life driving across Canada in a truck, who was a proud home owner, found out very quickly that you don't own anything. It's a scam. So for me, especially as somebody in my situation, my precarious situation, which we've described at length, somebody who is an enemy of the Matrix, considering that property is the most controlled Matrix asset that exists, considering that if they could take it off me, they fucking would, I need to find assets which are very, very difficult to seize. There are a whole bunch of things in the world which are actually very difficult to take.
Like?
And property is not one of them. One is people not knowing you own things.
Yeah.
Protecting the fact that you even own it. Which is
shut people like me up asking about it on podcasts.
Well, exactly. That's the first. That's the answer, right? One is protecting the fact that you own it. I mean, I don't know about your particular scenario, but in Florida, in America, in California, and in Canada, they were piercing LLCs. They're piercing LLCs to see who owns the LLC to seize the property. So once again, the law says if it's owned by a company that they can't take it or they can't see who owns the property in the company. Yes, they can't. Piss them off.
Yeah.
If you piss them off, they'll throw all the rules out the window. Same reason they're going to kill me. Murder's bad, but they throw the rules out the window when you annoy them. So this is my exact point. So I just personally could never sleep at night knowing, I got 100 million in property. I'm good, because I'd be like, I don't have anything. I have to be quiet and I have to be careful. And if they don't like me, they'll get me. And when I say we're living inside the Matrix, I'm not stating that with irony or as a joke, or I don't want you to use it as an example of how the world could be. We are genuinely actually living inside of the Matrix. The Matrix is real. The very basic premise of the Matrix is that humans are nothing more than batteries for the machines. The future is very dystopian on a tangent, because in the future, the entire police force will be AI. It'll all be roboticized, and robots have no soul. And then you're really in trouble. This is what I'm talking about, chess pieces and how they exert their power. Because as they reduce you to a QR code, as they reduce you to nothing more than a medical status as to whether you comply, because that's what they really want. I'm not going to sit here and say that anything's dangerous. What I'm going to say is they want to know who blindly complies and who thinks for themselves. And the people who think for themselves must be punished. How do you punish them? Well, you delete them from the internet. You remove their YouTube, destroy their Twitter, remove their Facebook, prevent them from using their bank, prevent them from going outside, prevent them from going to restaurants. This is what they're going to do to every single person. They no longer, soon in the future, they're not going to need a physical human police force, because humans are human. As stupid as police can be, you can stand in front of one and say, my friend, you and I are the same. Why are you punishing me? And maybe you'll get through. But you can't do that with the camera that scans your QR code. Do you understand? They don't care. It's just a yes or a no. So, any one of you out there that has any kind of warrior spirit inside of you should be very much like me, struggling to sleep at night. I'm actually genuinely losing sleep over this stuff because the world is falling apart in real time. And for my short human existence, every single time something went wrong in my life, I knew the answer. But the answer to this one's pretty difficult because most people are still asleep. Most people are still blindly complying. And they are complying thinking that this is going to go away. When the truth is, this has only just begun. Nothing is going anywhere. It has just started. So I've come up with a 3-step plan. The 3-step plan to resistance that will not land your ass in jail. And that's what I'm going to lay out to you here on Tate Speech. Because I don't want anyone to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail, right? I'm not trying to inspire mass rebellion to the point where I lose my YouTube channel. I'm a peaceful man. So for that, I'm putting together a 3-point plan. So point 1, you need to become obsessed with wealth. I can't explain how many times during this episode of human history I have managed to skirt the rules purely because I have huge sums of money. It doesn't matter if I take a private plane when there's no flights. It doesn't matter if I contact my friend who has a business to get me the correct visa to get into a country I'm banned from. It doesn't matter, right? I can give you 100 examples, many of which I won't see on YouTube. The point is, when you have a lot of money, you then get a lot of influence over others. And with influence over others, you can begin to skirt some of the rules. Now, this is important for more than just you breaking the rules. This is important because if you skirt the rules with the help of somebody else, then that also wakes them up to the fact that these rules are garbage. It is your job overall to try and awaken people and try to make them use their own eyes and their own brain and to stop believing whatever they're told by the machines, by the elitists. So if you go up to somebody and say, listen, this is all garbage, here's some money, let me through, and they do it, they might actually think, you know what, this is all garbage. That's why it's important. So the first thing is you need to become obsessed with wealth creation. Do you understand what I'm saying? This has just begun. Some countries are worse than others, but no matter where you're living in the world today, I can assure you this: if you don't get rich and you don't get a powerful network of people very, very quickly.
I mean, if the last 3 years haven't proved that, I don't know what's going to prove it to you. Like, there's definitely people who want to control us because all of us, every man on earth, has an innate instinct for power and control. We're all human. We're not pure creatures. The reason you guys love doing this podcast is because you love being big and getting more followers and getting more influence. What is influence? It's power. It's control. It's what you want. It's what I want. It's what everyone wants. But there's people in charge of the world who want us to listen when they talk. And they're going to do their very, very best to stop anybody or stop any kind of power or support structure which is going to prevent that. It's done on purpose.